Good evening, coming to you from Wyoming. There's some things about driving an 18-wheeler that I feel like people, if they knew, it would save people a lot of time, because truck driving's a profession or a job in which before you get to the brass tacks of it, you have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops. So for whatever reason in your mind, like, hey, truck driving seems like a good idea. And in my honest opinion, it's the best job I've ever had in my life. Greatest decision I've ever done and the most money I've ever made. That being said, this is my second rodeo, right? I did it when I was 21 years old. Decided I didn't screw up life enough. Left, did a bunch of other nonsense. Made half as much money as I could have been making. And then came back around to it. Here I am, 34 years old. And I guess this would touch on 18-year-old drivers being able to drive 18-wheelers too. It all falls in the same thing. There's a few things that you need to have and that you have to understand before you even call or recruit. Doesn't matter what company you're at. You will give somebody a phone call and you will either be put on a bus, you will get a job. You will get an opportunity. Damn, them are some bright lights. To drive an 18-wheeler, right? Best job I've ever had, funnest job I've ever had. But before you make that decision to change your life completely, because it is a complete life change, a few things that you need to understand that you must get right and make sure that you enjoy, if not enjoy, or at least able to do. Right? So the very first thing, and that's, I feel like a lot of people who make YouTube videos don't mention it, or they do mention it, but not enough, is because it's part and parcel in what we do. It's not a hurdle to people that do this every day. It's like breathing. What is that? Driving. Make sure that you can drive at least 10 hours a day. You should, if need be able to run your clock all the way out. So, before you decide to take this career, get in your car, get in your mom's car, get whatever car you can, pick a destination that's 5.5 hours out, drive there, take a 30-minute break, drive 5.5 hours back. When you get out of that car, ask yourself, can I do this every day for the next umpteen years? Albeit an 18-wheeler, in my opinion, is a whole lot more comfortable than a car. But if you can't do it in a car, or that doesn't seem like something for you, you probably want to find a different path to take, right? Truck driving is not for everybody. It takes, I've seen, so that being said, if let's say you clear that hurdle, right? Say you want to come drive a truck because you don't have a boss on your ass. Right? You don't have somebody sitting there watching you or giving you commands or demanding shit or whatever the reason would be why you're just tired of dealing with people or regular shops in general. And believe me, I know all about it. That's a different story entirely and a whole different video. But understand, in driving a truck, whether you go company, lease, whatever you want to do, the only person that holds you accountable is you, and you won't get a write-up, right, if you don't do your job. You're not going to get thrown into an office. You're not going to get thrown into an HR department for telling someone to kiss your ass on the CB. But if you only drive 200-300 miles a day, guess what? Your check's going to be shit, right? If you don't get up and you're able to kick your own ass into high gear, your check will show that. And it'll be nobody else's fault but yourself. So number 2, make sure that you have some work ethic. Make sure that you're able to get up at any time, because there's no set schedule in driving a truck. There's no 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Oh, you got a 14-hour clock. Boy, you could split that clock and you could be up damn near a day. Night shifts, day shifts. You need to be able to drive in any time frame, because that's what's going to be required. But if you can handle that and you have get-go, you need some get-go. Because you're going to go through more bullshit, whether that be going through training, living in a shoebox with somebody else. All that's before you even get your own truck. So you have to have dedication and determination. If you need somebody to push you forward, you might want to find a different career. If you need somebody to tell you to get up off your ass every day, this ain't going to work for you. And I mean no disrespect by that, but I want people to, I'm a big believer that people have so much energy in their life, and I want you to expend that energy as best as humanly possible. And if you go all the way through this, get your own truck, and then realize that, A, you can't fucking, oh, see, I shouldn't even be cut. You don't like driving, well, you just wasted all that time. And I've wasted plenty of time in my life. That's okay. Right? But if you can get that and you've answered yes to all three of those questions, you will have a blast here. Right? It all depends where you came from, how hard this job is. I don't think it's that hard at all. But that's because of the work that I've done before this. I used to have to bust my ass. And then on to the topic of 18-year-olds driving trucks. Not only do I think you could do it, you could probably be better than half the dumb shit I see out here on a daily basis. Can't be any worse than the nonsense that goes on. Can't be. It's impossible. But I would tell you, in my own personal opinion, go live life. I did this when I was 21 years old. As soon as I turned 21, I went and did this. And I didn't have the patience required. Yes, patience is the key word, right? Because 18-year-olds, 21-year-olds, you are not synonymous, and I wasn't synonymous with patience, right? Filled with piss and vinegar and still ready to make horrible decisions. And I did for the next 10 years before I came back and sat in this very seat. If you have patience and you're that young, this would be the best opportunity for you to save up a bunch of cash. But if you ain't never been home for longer than 2 days at a time, you're going to have a rough time from the get-go. You will get homesick. All right, so if you're 18 or if you're brand new looking at this, make sure that you have those things. Make sure that you can drive the truck for at least 10 hours a day. It ain't going to be every day. And nominally, you want to be able to eat and then shut it down. But there are times and situations when you got to go. You got an appointment to meet. And the excuse of, I was tired, the sun hurt my eyes, ain't going to work. So, I figure I don't do YouTube videos, but I've noticed this to where you get a lot of people who fall out because they'll go through every hoop you have to. You'll go get their permit, go get their license, get through training, halfway through training, and then then they can't even drive 4 or 5 hours a day. Right? I don't get up and enjoy driving, but it is the bread and butter of what I do, and I hammer that shit out like anything else I do that I do for work. So hopefully this saves y'all some time. If you're thinking about getting into this industry, go for it. Go for it. Maybe I'll make some more about my history. Now, I don't know. But this is, if you're thinking about it, make sure you have patience, work ethic, and you can do the basic ability of driving for at least 8 hours. But you have to be able to pull a 10 hours and 30 minutes a time or two. And that's all I got. You can call me Tiptoe. Y'all be safe, be decent. Keep the hammer down. 10-4, gone. Y'all be safe.